Welcome to Module 3. Today, we're exploring the crucial elements of accountability and transparency in our workplace. These principles ensure that our organization operates with integrity and fairness. We'll explore how workplace information and policies guide our actions, supported by no fear but fair policies that promote a respectful environment. Feedback mechanisms will be highlighted as essential tools for continuous improvement and employee engagement. Lastly, we'll discuss how our commitment to supporting both employers and employees creates a supportive and productive work environment. Let's explore these concepts and their impact on our workplace culture. In the food service sector, effective workplace information and policies are essential for ensuring smooth operations and delivering exceptional customer experiences. Clear guidelines and well-defined procedures help manage daily tasks, maintain safety and hygiene standards, and support staff training and development. By establishing comprehensive policies, food service organizations can enhance efficiency, foster a positive work environment, and consistently meet regulatory requirements and customer expectations. Examine your recent hires and check the shifting leadership, and you will clearly demonstrate the company's goal of EDI, equity, diversity, and inclusion. There has to be a significant transformation at the upper management level. To drive significant transformation at the upper management level, ensure leaders are aligned with a clear strategic vision. Invest in their training and development, and implement a structured change management process. Regularly monitor performance metrics to track progress and make necessary adjustments, fostering a unified and effective leadership team to guide the transformation. In the food sector, outcomes improve significantly when employees feel included, perceive fairness, and work for a company that champions diversity. When staff members believe they are valued and part of an inclusive environment, it enhances their engagement and productivity. Understanding their needs and fostering a sense of belonging leads to a more effective workplace planning and initiatives, ultimately benefiting overall performance and customer service. An inclusive environment ensures that everyone feels a sense of belonging, safety to express themselves authentically, and confident that their contributions are valued. It promotes fairness through equitable policies and practices, fostering effective collaboration among a diverse range of individuals. Today, we'll explore how cultivating such a culture benefits both our team dynamics and overall organizational success. At its core, an inclusive culture ensures that every member of our team experiences a profound sense of belonging, enabling them to express themselves authentically and confidently, knowing their contributions are valued. By promoting fairness through equitable policies and practices, we foster an environment where diverse perspectives thrive and collaboration flourishes. In the workplace, no fear but fair policies means implementing rules and procedures that ensure fairness and transparency. This creates an environment where employees feel confident to voice concerns without fear of retaliation. For instance, A restaurant implements a policy where all staff members are encouraged to report safety or hygiene issues without fear of punishment. If an employee notices a potential health violation in the kitchen, they can report it through a confidential system. The policy ensures that the issue will be addressed fairly and without retribution, promoting a culture of safety and openness. Let's examine this situation and reflect. Restaurant management needs to adjust the staff schedule during a busy shift. With a diverse team that values hierarchical respect, getting input from everyone can be challenging. Team members might hesitate to voice their opinions, fearing it could challenge authority. To address this, the supervisor invites feedback respectfully and inclusively, fostering open communication while honoring cultural sensitivities. Consider a situation where you needed to resolve a conflict between team members from diverse backgrounds. How could actively seeking and respecting each team member's perspective have helped you resolve the conflict more effectively? Reflect on how inviting input from all team members while respecting cultural values help you overcome this challenge and foster a more inclusive and collaborative environment. Creating inclusive workplaces for all focuses on strategies and practices to foster equity, diversity, and inclusion within organizational settings. Watch and listen to Catarina Rivera as she narrates her story. She addresses promoting a supportive environment where all employees feel valued, respected, and empowered.
I have 2 graduate degrees, one in education and one in public health. I started a food justice nonprofit in New York City in 2016 that is still active and sustainable today. I launched a business, and within 1 year, I was successful enough to leave my full-time job. I am an international traveler and public speaker. And I am a proud, disabled Latina woman. Are you thinking, but you don't look disabled? The easiest way to explain it is that I'm hard of hearing and wear hearing aids. I'm also blind. This might surprise you. Let me help everyone out here. Make sure I look more like the world's idea of blindness. That better? This is what blindness looks like, right? Well, blindness actually looks like me too. I have about 5% of my vision remaining due to Usher syndrome. I see the world through a little box like this. While I still have some usable vision, I also benefit from using a white cane. 7 years ago, I interviewed for a job in Midtown New York City. Come with me through this experience so that you can understand what it was like. We leave our apartment early to make sure we have plenty of time to travel to the interview, because learning a new route is stressful. When we find the office building, we enter the lobby and scan the area for the elevators. We look for people lining up, because that's how we find the elevators. When an elevator arrives, we let others enter first, because we don't want to bump into anybody by accident, because we don't have peripheral vision and can't see to the sides. When we arrive to the 5th floor, we find the office door. It's not open. We scan around the door for a button or doorbell. There it is. We push the button and cautiously walk inside. To the right is a reception desk. We walk slowly towards the desk. Whoosh! Somebody just walked right in front of us in the hallway. We didn't see them. Bumping into them would have really thrown us off. After signing in, we sit down in the waiting area. We start to scan the area around us and get a sense of the office layout. We start to feel more comfortable. That is, until the interviewer comes over to greet us. We know we cannot miss their handshake, or else we would not make a good first impression. Because we can only see what we are directly looking at with our little box of vision, we lean back a bit and look down, anticipating a handshake. Success. The interviewer asks us to follow them. We follow behind slowly to make sure we do not bump into anything. When we arrive to a small office, we quickly scan the room for obstacles. We take a few steps towards the chair, place a hand on the seat of the chair to confirm it is where we think it is, and then sit down. We exhale a sigh of relief. Now we are finally done with navigating all of the obstacles. We raise our chin up to face the interviewer confidently. Now our brain can focus solely on communicating why we are the best fit for this role, our dream job. Like many disabled people, I hid my disability during the interview process. Thanks to the work of disability rights activists, the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed in 1990. Because of this, I am protected by the ADA from discrimination due to disability in the workplace. But I was still scared. If the employer knew about my blindness, they might have thought, she will be an expensive employee. She can't do the field work required for this role. The employer could have assumed what my capabilities were, what my limitations were, without asking me and without understanding my actual lived experience. I bet you've heard that honesty is the best policy. But is it really the best policy when it comes to disclosing a disability when that could be the reason you don't get hired? While it is illegal, discrimination is still happening. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2021, disabled people were about 2 times more likely to be unemployed than non-disabled people. Many disabled people have disabilities that are not possible to hide or conceal in the interview process. But some of us have a choice. Should we disclose our disabilities? Some people think disabled people should always disclose in the interview process. Their response to discrimination and not getting hired? You didn't want to work there anyway. You didn't want to work at a place that discriminates against disabled people. But the problem that many disabled people face is that discrimination is so common that they don't feel they'll get any job if they disclose. These disabled people say, I need to work. I need a job to pay for my expenses. I can't afford to lose these opportunities. I asked some disability employment lawyers what their recommendations were. Both lawyers that I spoke to advised that disabled people should not disclose until after they are hired if they're able to do so. They wish they didn't have to recommend this, but ableism and discrimination are still commonplace in our society. Disclosing is such a personal decision. In a 2019 Harvard Business Review article, they cite a study that found that only 21% of disabled employees disclosed to HR. According to 2018 data from the CDC, 1 in 4 adults in the United States is disabled. What does this mean for employers and leaders? This means that employers and leaders have a lot of disabled employees that they don't know about. Employers might be thinking, what a problem. What can we do to get more disabled employees to disclose? Let's ask this question instead. Instead of asking our disabled employees to disclose, how might we create a workplace culture that is accessible and inclusive for everyone? Currently, many disabled employees are overworking to adapt to inaccessible or non-inclusive work environments on top of managing a full workload. These employees are surviving, not thriving. We're talented employees, and we have all different kinds of disabilities. Disabilities like ADHD, dyslexia, dyscalculia, chronic illness, cerebral palsy, Maffucci syndrome, depression, anxiety, diabetes, chronic migraines. You may not know what all of these are, But all of these are disabilities. Employers and leaders, accept that disabled people are already in your workforce and that our work is valuable. You need us as part of your company. Disabled people are innovative. We're problem solvers because we live in a world that's not designed for us. Disability inclusion is not charity or compliance. It is a competitive advantage. We need our workplaces to be inclusive and accessible for everyone. From the beginning, make accessibility built in within your organization. This will make your workplace better for everyone. Then disabled employees won't have to ask for everything they need or adapt on their own because you will have already adopted best practices for accessibility. There are many free and simple best practices for inclusion you could be building into your culture that will help everyone. One example is closed captions. Many people benefit from captions. I benefit from captions as a hard of hearing person. People with ADHD benefit from captions to help better understand information. People with auditory processing disorders, English language learners, or anyone who's a bit tired or distracted can benefit from having information presented in more than one way. Just sending out meeting agendas in advance is another inclusive best practice. Receiving a meeting invitation without an agenda can cause anxiety or panic. Meeting agendas help the deaf and hard of hearing follow the conversation more easily. Meeting agendas help introverted employees prepare their thoughts ahead of time. And they help anyone who benefits from having more time to process information. Sending out meeting notes or summary after a meeting has concluded is another inclusive best practice. Meeting notes help ensure that the deaf and hard of hearing don't miss any important action items or decisions. Meeting notes help those with memory issues or learning disabilities. And they help any busy person who can't find their notes. In an inclusive and accessible work environment, disability disclosure becomes less necessary. Knowing why someone needs a certain kind of support is not as important as actually providing that support. Let's all recognize that disability is just a part of the natural diversity of humankind. It is common, it is normal, and as we age, it is a part of life. Disabled people do not exist in some other part of society. We may not look like what you think disability looks like. We're right next to you. We're in front of you. We're on stage giving TEDx talks. Disability inclusion must be prioritized in the successful workplace of the future. When we're all included, we create a better world for everyone. Thank you.
Let's reflect on how we can remove barriers that hinder their application and success within our roles. Once hired, how can we ensure they receive the necessary accommodations and resources to excel in their positions? Have we established clear policies and practices for reasonable accommodations that are both flexible and responsive to their needs? These questions guide us in fostering an inclusive workplace where every member feels supported and empowered to contribute to their best. We're exploring a range of initiatives that enrich our community and support our team members. These include newcomer networking opportunities that connect individuals to valuable resources and support systems, and recognize the importance of lived experiences that contribute unique perspectives. We also highlight participation in community events that foster engagement and build strong relationships. Embracing culturally responsive practices ensures that our community reflects and respects diverse backgrounds. Lastly, community circles provide a platform for open dialogue and collaboration, fostering a supportive and inclusive environment. Please take some time to reflect on the following questions related to Module 3. Provide thoughtful responses to each question, drawing from your own experiences and observations. Your reflections will contribute to our understanding of cultural dimensions and their impact on interpersonal interactions and teamwork. Consider writing your thoughts down on a piece of paper and feel free to hit the pause button to give yourself some time for this reflection, and hit play when you're ready to move on. Think about your role in the food and beverage sector. How do you actively contribute to ensuring fairness and equity in the service you provide and the products you offer? What challenges have you encountered in promoting fairness and equity in your role within the food and beverage sector? And how have you addressed them? How can you support hard of hearing employees in the kitchen, such as by using visual signals for alerts, providing clear instructions on whiteboards or digital displays, and offering assistive listening devices? How can you effectively support coworkers with visual impairments in customer service roles, ensuring we provide inclusive environment with appropriate accommodations and foster teamwork and mutual respect? Creating an inclusive workplace where employees feel valued and free from biases not only boosts productivity, but also enhances our understanding of consumers. Imagine a time where understanding and respecting diverse dining customs could make a big difference in how we serve our customers. Now, think about how fostering a culture that values and utilizes diverse perspectives could spark innovative solutions within your team. Congratulations on completing Module 3. Embrace what you've learned and let it guide your actions. Let's keep celebrating diversity, nurturing inclusivity, and sparking positive change every day. Prepare to uncover insights in the next module, Module 4. It will empower you to build a more inclusive and equitable environment through bias awareness, allyship, and advocacy, and embark on another learning journey together. Before we move to the next module, we'd like to acknowledge the newcomer young adults, community nonprofit organizations, food and beverage operators, and sector representatives who contributed to this work.